Not Clackers Nation. Today, you can ignore my nails. That's not what this video is about. This video is about my sketchbook. I originally did something way too ambitious and went with one that was already full, and it was taking me too long to edit, and it was like nearly an hour long, and I just decided, you know what? Let's dial it back in. First video, let's just talk about what's going on right now. So here is my sketchbook that I've only drawn in this year. I started it around February, January. Let's see when the first drawing is. Here's a bunch of swatches I was doing when I was organizing a bunch of my art supplies. A little drawing of Frisk. Let's see, I should have something dated here. This was a swatch page that I was trying out because my friend asked me to commission something for an anniversary, and I was very flattered that they asked me to do that. Okay, so the first drawing here is from the 20th of February. So somewhere from January to February. I had a smaller sketchbook that only had a couple pages left in it, so I finished that one first. But there wasn't really anything worth talking about in that, so I'll just start with this one. Here is a thumbnail for one of the OneyPlays videos. I can't remember. Oh, I think it was Civilization. You know, I'm still pretty proud of these. I feel like Chris's face is a little bit off, but you know, we try our best. I was really happy with how I managed to get Zach's persona. I really like his expression here. I like Tomar, and I like this Corey that I did. Ooh, I like these a lot. This was done with just pencils, regular pencils. Well, some of them were watercolor pencils. I find that watercolor pencils are usually more saturated and they go down nicer. These ones are regular pencils. This one was watercolor, and you can see already the difference in brightness. And then I lined it with one of those multicolor pens, you know what I'm talking about? This one specifically, Pom Pom Pudding. And I love Pom Pom Pudding. It reminds me of my best friend, who also happened to get me this bracelet. So yeah, we've lined it with that. I was just sort of making it up as I went along, coloring the lines however, and I think they came out really nice. It's a little hard to see on camera, but I do really like the details. I think it looks really nice. Where I was still frustrated with my art, but that's a natural process, you know? It ebbs and flows. You get frustrated, you come back, you figure out how to do X, Y, Z, you feel confident. It's all a process, and I can't hate. But obviously when you're in the process, it feels shitty as, shitty as fuck. But yeah, so this was just nonsensical. I was just trying to put something down. And, you know, I can't say I love them, but I won't say that I hate them. Here are some more in the same vein of just trying to put my pencil to paper and just get stuff out. Nothing Lucky Star, like, style-inspired drawings. Just of myself. This was actually referenced, and then I just sort of went off and did my own thing with these three. And you know, they're whatever. I really like the fluidity of this movement here. I like that a lot. And this was another thumbnail that I redrew of OneyPlays. I swear I do start drawing on here. I realize that I've not been drawing on this page. I'll go back and fill these up, but I do start drawing on this side as well. And I've been doing a lot of. Here you can see this is what I like to do. I like to draw skulls from reference. I like to reference people and draw what I think their skulls look like. I like to reference skulls and try and draw people over them. And then I like to draw some skulls from my mind. And I like to spend 12 minutes and 30 seconds on each. But I've been kind of slacking lately. More like notes. And then more studies. And then here's Izuku! This is reference from that page of the manga where Horikoshi shows what Izuku, Bakugo, and Todoroki would look like as, like, realism, you know what I'm saying? So I thought I'd draw realistic Izuku because I just think he's very cute. I love him very much. And then here, like I said, I've been trying to get more into playing around with actually coloring traditional pieces, and I thought, why not? I was watching the Jerma VOD of him playing Casino Inc., and I thought I would just draw Applejack for no reason while I was listening along to this stream. I thought it would be funny to write here, I need a new tray. Here's some more studying. I didn't really like this method, but that's okay. Here's some wobble dogs I was doing in gouache, but I never finished those. I'll get around to it at some point. More skulls. Just a little thing of me trying to put what I studied into practice. Not great, but I won't hate. This is probably one of the ugliest things I've ever drawn. I don't even know how to explain myself. I was trying to, like, be quirky with it. Originally, it was just, like, a pose study, and then I was like, let me try and turn this into some sort of character. And so I just searched up random word generator, and the word I got was dragon. And I tried making it a dragon. I tried giving it, like, a traditional dragon kind of nose, but it's just really, really ugly, and these weapons don't really make any sense. I'm really embarrassed, but that's what it's all about. Just being embarrassed. It means something good, I guess. More skulls. I was really happy with these. I was very happy with this guy down here. I thought it was a great example of stretching the sort of realistic proportions to be more cartoonish but still legible. Here were just some little like fursona stuff. I don't know. I don't really know if I consider it like my fursona, but I don't think there's any other word for it, so I guess that's what I'll call it. Just a black cat guy because I absolutely adore black cats. I feel like I'm very connected to black cats. Here was a little drawing of Frisk, or Kara, I guess, from Undertale. My friend wanted me to do that. This is another furry. These were based off of this video I watched. I can't remember who it was by. I think they're called Cat and Bunny, or Kitty and Bunny. Frog and Bunny. Oh my gosh, what is wrong with me? But they did this challenge where they were just trying to become, like, furry Twitter artists. Or not Twitter, I think they were on Instagram and DeviantArt. But yeah, they were trying to do this challenge. I'll put up the prompt list here by doing like a furry drawing every day. And I figured I'd draw some of the prompts. So I think this was like farm animal. He's like a sheepdog. Yeah, I really liked watching the video. So I'll put the video up and in the description and everything. These are some drawings of Sasha and Aaron. I can't look at any references because I haven't finished the anime. And I really don't want to get spoilers. I've like just finished season 2 and I've not posted this anywhere, and I'm hoping that no one watches this video because people just can't understand the concept of not giving spoilers, which I understand, like you're excited, but like you need to tread carefully. And this anime is so fucking good that I've been like, I'm not going to post anything about this, but I don't think anybody will really get to this point of the video at all. And if you do, make sure to like and subscribe, dude. The guy who got me into AOT also got me into football. So I drew Sasha and Aaron at a Carlton game. I really like how this pose came out for this one. And then I hate these. I don't like them at all. I don't think I did a good job. I don't think they're proportionate. But that's okay because I love this way I did that. This, I was watching a streamer that I love, and also I actually found them years and years and years ago now through their YouTube channel, Doodle Date. It's a channel of this couple called Adam and Steph. And they are delightful, and their videos are delightful, and their streams are delightful. And Adam of Doodle Date streams on Twitch, Adamosketches, but you can also catch his streams on YouTube if you don't like Twitch, which I will completely not blame you for. I said that you could catch his streams. I misspoke. It's the VOD, so he uploads the streams when they're done. You can't catch them live on YouTube. But yeah, and so I finally caught one of his streams live, which is a bit hard because I'm Australian and usually they start quite early for me over here because he's in the UK. But I caught one, and his little avatar was wearing like this wizard outfit that I'll put on screen, and I'll also link all their stuff in the description as well. He was wearing this cute little, like, wizard getup, and I thought, ooh, I'd like to make my own, because his character is, like, a guinea pig, because they have beautiful guinea pigs, which I absolutely think are the cutest things, and they've had guinea pigs for years, and they're just so sweet. I love them to bits. And so, you know, he's very fond of guinea pigs, so his character is, like, a guinea pig girl. And I thought, ooh, let me make a wizard-inspired character of my own, because he likes to do sort of a D&D kind of thing, which is why he was wearing the wizard getup in the first place. And I thought, you know what, let me create my character for this D&D sort of doodle quest, as they call it, and I'll make it inspired by Adam's character. And I didn't think it would really go far, but I ended up really loving this character a lot, so you'll see quite a bit of him. Yeah, since his is a guinea pig, I thought, you know, I have to make mine a black cat. Big surprise. I'm a very big fan of self-insert stuff, so all my OCs, you'll notice, look the same, because they're not OCs. They're self-inserts. They're all me. And more often than not, if they have to have an animal trait, it will be a black cat, because like I said, black cats are also very me. So yeah, it's this black cat wizard. I thought Adam's character, when they have the wizard has like a little bow on the side of their hat, I thought I'd put my bow on the front so it could kind of mimic cat ears when you can't really see them. And I thought that this cape could kind of mimic the shape of a koi fish, because I love fish, and so do cats. And he's also got a fish earring. Oh yeah, you can see it here, but I didn't really think to put that there. You know, this is a progression of this character, and I forget things all the time. Like, I forget to draw his amulet, like, all the time. But, yeah, so that's that. I really like this character, so you can see quite a bit more of him. This is probably my favorite drawing I've done of him. I really like the pose. I really like his expression, even though obviously you can really only see his eyeball. But I really like it, and this is what he looks like when I decided that the reason he has these cat attributes is because of a curse. So this is what he looks like when he first gets cursed, and the reason he has this staff and all this amulet. And I've decided maybe rings, because I like to wear rings sometimes. Well, only this one ring is the only one I have. Oh, and maybe I should give him a bracelet since I wear bracelets. But anyway. Yeah, I decided that he should have all these magical things and he should pick up magic, try to be the best magic wielder, because he had this curse put on him and he wants to get rid of these cat traits. But maybe he'll learn to actually love his cat traits and he'll end up deciding to live this way. No matter. Anyway, here's more of him in his full cat form. Here's him with his tail out for once. I don't know how to feel about this pose, but that's okay. I really like his expression here, but I couldn't figure out what to do really with the rest of his body, and I liked his arm too much to erase it, so he stays. I also really like drawing his hat, like, super jagged and weird with the bell on the end. Oh yeah, I added the bell. I think the end of his hat had, like, a star or something on it, which I would have loved to steal, because stars are my favorite shape, but I figured, you know what, I can't be too much of a copycat, if you will, so I'll put a bell on the end of mine since a lot of, you know, bells like that, or jingling bells, are associated with cats and cat collars. I don't really like this too much, but that's okay. Here are more drawings of that character, but without his, like, wizard getup on. I don't know. I just did this pose for my mind, and then I was like, I don't really want to add all his, like, complicated clothes over the top, because I quite like it. So I just gave him a different outfit for once. And I like adding the multiple cat nipples. I don't know why. I think it's like, I just like that idea as like for a character. I think that's a funny idea. And here's him in his full wizard getup, but in his cat form also. And I guess he's just got out of a swamp. He's just had a bad encounter and fallen in some lake or river or some sorts. He's just gotten absolutely drenched, and he's doing the walk of shame out. And I forgot his amulet. Like I said, I forget that a lot sometimes. Here's a little doodle of Smith, or Weaponsmith, which is my TF2 self-insert, which I have no idea where that came from. For those who know, I had a very big TF2 phase, several years ago now? Dang, time flies. But it's a fair while ago now. And just out of nowhere, I was like, I miss that. And so, I've just come back to it, so you'll see a couple more drawings of him as well. We're getting to the end because, like I said, I've only been drawing in this book this year. Here is a drawing that was meant to be of Smith, which, like I said, is the self-insert for TF2. But I ended up liking the muscles on his legs too much, and I haven't figured out his outfit yet, and I didn't want to draw over the muscles because I like them too much. And, yeah, I like the muscles too much, and if I drew clothes over it, it would be a shame. Especially because I haven't figured out his outfit, and I don't want to be like, wow, I drew over his muscles for an outfit that I don't even like. You know what I'm saying? So, TBD. Mom and Dad and apple pie. Here's him with, like, a little welding mask, face shield, I guess you'd call it. I wrote down some attributes of, like, uniquely blacksmith sort of attributes to try and set him apart from his teammates, and I've just been trying to do a little drawing of, like, each of those things to figure out what I like. So, you know, we've got the face shield, goggles, and, like, the more scientific looking kind of goggles. This was meant to be for the closed, like, steel-toed boots, but I'm very bad at drawing shoes, especially front on, and this just looks awkward. This doesn't look good. Something about this just, it ain't right. It ain't right. And then I think this is the last thing I drew so far. It was a little celebration because the Chiikawa app just came out. I got it for pre-order, #notspawn, but please do because I love your stuff. So here's Hachiware and Rakko, who are my favorite Chiikawa characters. And yeah, that's about all I've done. I hope you liked this video. It should be way easier than the fucking monolith that I was trying to produce earlier. Have fun drawing. If you like drawing, have fun pursuing whatever you like to do. And that's about all I have to say. I love you, Not Quite Chris Nation. I just pre-ordered and I woke up at 4 a.m. on accident, and I woke up to the notification, Chiikawa has downloaded. I said, oh, Chiikawa has downloaded. Let me play that. And since that moment, it keeps coming up like, oh, we're under maintenance. Under maintenance? Why can I even open you in the first place? I'm so heartbroken. I'm so excited to play this. I haven't opened it today yet, and I hope it works because I really want to play. Like, I was so excited, you can see.